Hey, Bill, I just have a little statement. I've listened to you for many, many years now, and one thing that is not surprised me, but one thing I have to say is that when you say you predicted this stuff, you absolutely did. I mean, I remember reading Behold a Pale Horse about, a terrorist attack in the heartland. And I remember after that happening, you said it's going to go to New York or somewhere in the East, some big thing there. And I remember you also made a statement that always stuck with me. You said that, and maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you said something to the effect of they wanted to bring down the World Trade Centers the first time they didn't do it. And you said it wouldn't shock you if it happened again.
That's right.
And so, I mean, this stuff, I mean, and there's no doubt in my mind that you've been correct all along, so... And I'm sure, I know you don't want to be, but...
No, I certainly don't want to be. But if people would just listen to me and understand what the agenda of these globalists really is, and stop concentrating on trying to prove me wrong, but understand that if they don't get a grasp on this and stop it, they're going to lose their country, their freedoms, and everything that they ever valued forever. And they're going to be relegated to like third world status. If you want to know how they're going to end up living, go down to Tijuana.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's about all I have to add, but, thank you for the good work. And I just want to say to the listeners out there, you've paid for a lot of programming tonight, and I know that your listeners support it now. So let me just say as a viewer to all the other viewers to definitely let's support Bill Cooper tonight because he's putting a lot on the line to be with us tonight and help us out.
In fact, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a fact, the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, orchestrated the attack upon the World Trade Center, teaching the terrorists how to drive the van. They taught the terrorists how to build the bomb. They placed it in the building and detonated the bomb. One of the Federal Bureau of Investigation informants attempted to secure permission from the FBI to substitute inert ingredients for the bomb so that no one would be injured. But the Federal Bureau of Investigation agent in charge denied the request. The informant tape recorded every single one of his conversations. That's right, it is a combination. He recorded all of his conversations with the FBI, and a full transcript of the tapes were printed in the New York Times. The judge refused to allow the tapes to be presented in court in defense of the FBI informant. Confederate would be a much better word. The attack on the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building was designed to affect the heartland. It was designed, ladies and gentlemen, to affect the heartland so that no one in the nation will feel safe. These acts, in the manner of Hegel's dialectic, are leading to a need for the elimination of the rights of individuals and the disarmament of all peoples so that the world's super-government can step up to provide the solution, which will be artificial safety and security from terrorism. Something that no one can ever guarantee. But the sheeple will believe it. Thesis against antithesis equals synthesis.
I was stupid, folks, for most of my life. I can admit it. Why can't you? Stupid as stupid could get until I woke up. I looked in the mirror one day, and through my tears, because it hurt, and had spent my life serving a government that was in the process of trying to destroy us all. That hurt. I decided never to be stupid again. And never to forgive stupidity, nor accept it, nor turn my head away from it and ignore it, nor to let anybody else think that it's cool or okay to be stupid.
You see, for the most part, most Americans in this century have been living in fantasy land. How long do you think you can sit back and pretend that nothing is going on, to wait for someone else to save you?
What up? Think you need to let them know what's going on, baby. Time to tell them. When I'm in the streets, I always remain cautious. Let's go.
Every society honors its live conformists and dead troublemakers. I'm the son of Satan, sculpted the culture of the ancients. Burn me at the stake with my left hand stuck in the matrix. I'm the apex, I steal science off of spaceships. Blackwater contractors captured off of camcorders. After mass slaughter, violent massacre. Masters of order, burning effigies of presidents and American flags. Veterans clash for the chance to sell terror for cash. Babylon destroyed the base of Migdosh. Death codes, murder squads, exploding churches and burning mosques. Throw your dice, now your destiny's cast. And he sees a war planet over centuries past. And the mysteries remain unsolved. Colossal pyramids on Mars. Visitors beyond the scriptures of Allah. God is on the side of the ones with money and large armies. Pray for death amongst these brainwashed zombies. Society is brainwashed.
Remove the World Trade Center from the New York City skyline.
That's right.
There's a few things we have to address.
I bet you can't see what I can see.
When I'm in the streets, I always remain cautious.
Good. November 5th, 2001, less than 2 months after 9/11 occurred. The infamous William Cooper was murdered, ex-naval intelligence officer. But now author of Behold the Pale Horse. He paid the cost. I can't say that I agree with everything that he wrote, but I admire him for speaking his mind though. Never holding his tongue for nobody. Our society is brainwashed. Guns in each other's faces for the same lies. Same everything and same nothing. Same bullshit materialism. The third world man's luxury. This false flag fuckery. An AIDS-infested junkie. Your lady, your liberty. Can't off me. Can't touch me. The Black Pope, superior general. Tim Oscar riding like a pirate from Inglewood. Bring the hood up to a hovering mothership. They already made the switch to the one world government.
I bet you can't see what I can see.
That's right.
There's a few things we have to address.
I bet you can't see what I can see.
When I'm in the streets, I always remain cautious.
Good. Amongst the ivory tower witch doctors, witness explosion on the Groom Lake landing strip. The silicon sorceress abandoned ship. Famine gripped the planet with the gigantic satanic fists. Believed to be linked to Al-Qaeda through his sandwich business. I don't advise you to believe these could be camera tricks. All I'm saying is to ask questions, amateurs. What Hollywood tries to pass off as a fantasy might have already happened in actuality, and vice versa. If Jesus Christ was a person, who was Mithra? Who was Krishna? Who was the first to be baptized, crucified, resurrected, betrayed and made into a martyr for someone else's redemption? Old men start wars for young dudes to die in Madison Avenue, telling you what you should be buying. Religion and science always profess peace, but in the end, who created the deadly war machine society is?
I bet you can't see what I can see.
There's a few things we have to address.
I bet you can't see what I can see.
When I'm in the streets, I always remain cautious.
That's right.
Good. God damn.
Say, old timer, about that barren stretch over yonder.
You just stand right there, sonny. Look straight ahead and hold still whilst we scan you.
Hey! Transaction approved. Subject's retinal scan matches no known dissident, subversive, or enemy of state on file. Have a nice day.
Hey! Come back here! This money ain't no good! It's U.S. dollars! Absolutely worthless!
Gentlemen, is this the match you wanted all along, or are you going to continue your terrorist attacks? And Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, the lovely Elizabeth, 3 people working as one with one goal in mind, to defeat, or should I say demolish, the Twin Towers. Yeah. Hulk Hogan, you talked about the Triangle of Love. Jesse Ventura says there's a problem. Explain.
Well, you know, Mean Gene, you get right to the heart of the matter with that question, brother. It's the love, man, that's going to supercharge the mega powers and tear down the Twin Towers.
This man, what were your thoughts then?
Oh, yeah, Mean Gene, I can still feel the pain when that cold steel bit into Miss Elizabeth's wrist right there. And when her muscles were torn, my muscles were torn. When her bone was bruised right there, I felt the pain. Hulk Hogan felt the pain, and I can still feel the pain right now. And Hulk Hogan, that pain won't stop until the Twin Towers come crumbling down. Oh, yeah, right now.
Bad news, Master Splinter. Shredder is up to something, but he ran off before we could discover what.
All we know is it had something to do with the Twin Towers.
Sooner or later, he will reveal his plan. Until then, we can only wait.
We're gonna crash!
9,
Why don't you tell Santa what you want for Christmas?
I want a luxurious hair Cynthia doll.
Of course you do. And if you're a good little girl,
A Teenage Nuclear Fusion Squad video game.
Well...
A Rocco Mr. X Exploding Smash-Up doll. A Beverly Hills Cynthia lunchbox. A pony. And a 9/11 emergency surgical kit with working stethoscope. And a 9/11 emergency surgical kit with working stethoscope. Nuclear exploding and a 9/11 emergency surge.
I'd like to say something about the current climate of repression and fear.
Put a fork in it.
Sit down, Saddam.
Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. That's from the First Amendment to the Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm sure your opinion will not go unnoticed.
Simpsons, you're under arrest for the violation of the Government Knows Best Act.
I can't believe they put us in jail. It's not a jail. It's a re-education center.
Well, where do you think we are?
Well, let's see. After they blindfolded us, it was left, right, left, then a 3-hour plane ride.
Do you get time off for snitching on your cellmates?
You were right, homie. We shouldn't have rocked the boat. And none of this would have ever happened. Well, we're not the only ones to be unjustly imprisoned.
You traitors, pipe down. You're all here because you hate freedom.
I'm here because I said imported wines are better than Napa Valley.
Yeah? Well, why don't you take a Napa?
My only crime was driving a truck full of explosives in from Canada.
I don't know why they put the real ones in with the joke ones.
Hello, I'm the U.S. Constitution, and I'm over 200 years old, but I'm feeling fine. I wish I could say the same for my crazy cousin, Bill O'Reilly.
What do I do? What do I do?
Lisa, that's not funny. You believe in the Bill of Rights. I don't know whether it's the lack of sleep, the sodium pentothal, or that it's the only cartoon I've seen in 2 months. But this is what I believe in now.
Find something? Yeah, I wound up in some government think tank's upload directory. Here's your scenarios, ladies.
These look like counterterrorism scenarios, war games developed for the Defense Department.
What's scenario 12D?
Airline terrorism? That doesn't make sense.
What is scenario 12D? We know it's a war game scenario, and it has to do with airline counterterrorism. Why is that important enough to kill for?
Because it's no longer a game.
If some terrorist group wants to act out this scenario, why target you for assassination?
Depends on who your terrorists are.
The men who conceived of it in the first place. You're saying our government plans to commit a terrorist act against a domestic airline?
There you go. Indicting the entire government as usual. A faction. A small faction.
For what possible gain?
The Cold War's over, John. But with no clear enemy to stockpile against, the arms market's flat. But bring down a fully loaded 727 into the middle of New York City, and you'll find a dozen tin pot dictators all over the world just clamoring to take responsibility and begging to be smart-bombed.
I can't believe it. This is about increasing arms sales. When?
Tonight?
How are you going to stop them? Why didn't you tell the world this? Go to the press.
You think I'd still be drawing breath 30 minutes after I made that call? The press? Who's going to run this story?
Liars, your flight's going to make an unscheduled stop in exactly 22 minutes.
The corner of Liberty and Washington. Lower Manhattan.
World Trade Center. I'm going to crash the plane into the World Trade Center.
I'll tell the flight crew.
1993. World Trade Center bombing, remember?
During the trial, one of the bombers claimed the CIA had advanced knowledge. The diplomat who issued the terrorist visa was CIA. It's not unthinkable they paved the way for the bombing purely to justify a budget increase.
You're telling me that you're gonna fake some terrorist thing just to scare some money out of Congress?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Hennessy, I have no idea how to fake killing 4,000 people. So we're just gonna have to do it for real. Oh, blame it on the Muslims, naturally. Then I get my funding. Good night, old girl. Timothy, I'll be in Chopper 1.
What you're gonna hear from me, you're not gonna hear from anybody else because, my opinions, well, let's just say they're not popular. 9/11, inside job, plain and simple. All you gotta do is connect the dots, and I'm not talking about the dots everyone's already heard about. I'm not talking about Bush sitting in that school reading a book about a goat to those kids for 7.5 minutes after he was told the news.
And remember the sound it makes. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. Kid. Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word? Kid. Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. Seal. What word? Seal. Yes, seal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kick. Yes, kick. Get ready. Seal. Yes, seal. Get ready. Play. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Boys and girls, pick your reader up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson.
Everybody knows that. I am talking about a massive neoconservative government effort. It's been in the works for over 20 years. You ever hear of PNAC? Project for New American Century? Perhaps. Yeah, well, according to them, the end goal of their effort is American global domination. Full spectrum dominance, they call it. Now, the first question that pops to my mind is, how do you pull that off in this day and age? Well, according to them, you do it in 4 steps. First, we must control the world's oil, especially the oil in Central Asia and the Middle East. Now, I don't have to remind you that Bush Cheney, they came to power with plans already made to attack Afghanistan and Iraq. Number 2, we have to make huge technological advances with our armed forces that for some reason include the capability to fight wars from outer space. Number 3, surprise, surprise, huge increases in military spending to pay for the above, $130 billion a year worth. Now, never mind the sick and dying first responders, 9/11's heroes, who can't even pay their light bill, let alone their medical bills, and a lot of whom ended up homeless because of it. I guess there's just not enough room in the budget for them. Number 4, and this is key, we changed the definition of preemptive attack so we can unilaterally bomb the shit out of, invade, and occupy countries even if they pose no credible threat or had nothing to do with 9/11. One problem, how are you gonna put it into action? I mean, the American people are never gonna go for no shit like that, right? You damn straight. Now what you need is an event that gets everyone's heads turned around the right way. What you need is a new Pearl Harbor. That's what they said they needed. You're looking at a guy who went to 58 funerals in 26 days. I can tell you that is sure as shit what they got.
The voice of racism preaching the gospel is devilish. A fake church called the Prophet Muhammad a terrorist. Forgetting God is not religion, but a spiritual bond. And Jesus is the most quoted prophet in the Quran. They bombed innocent people trying to murder Saddam. When you gave them those chemical weapons to go to war with Iran. This is the information that they hold back from Peter Jennings. Cause Condoleezza Rice is just a new age Sally Hemings. I break it down with critical language and spiritual anguish. The Judas I hang with, the guilt of betraying Christ, who murdered him, stole his religion, and painted him white. Translated in psychologically tainted philosophy, conservative political right-wing ideology, glued together sloppily the blasphemy of a nation. Got my back to the wall cause I'm facing assassination. Guantanamo Bay, federal incarceration. How could this be? The land of the free, home of the brave, indigenous Holocaust, and the home of the slaves. Corporate America, dancing offbeat to the rhythm. You really think this country never sponsored terrorism? Human rights violations, we continue the saga. El Salvador and the Contras in Nicaragua. And on top of that, you still wanna take me to prison just cause I won't trade humanity for patriotism. It's like MK Ultra controlling your brain, suggestive thinking, causing your perspective to change. They wanna rearrange the whole whole point of view of the ghetto. The fourth branch of the government want us to settle. A bandana full of glittering generality, fighting for freedom and fighting terror. But what's reality? Read about the history of the place that we live in, and stop letting corporate news tell lies to your children. Flow like the blood of Abraham through the Jews and the Arabs, broken apart like a woman's heart, abused in the marriage, the brink of holy war, bottled up like a miscarriage. Embedded correspondents don't tell the source of the tension, and they refuse to even mention European intervention or the massacres in Jenin. The innocent screams, U.S. manufactured missiles and M16s, weapon contracts and corrupted American dreams. Media censorship blocking out the video screens. A continent of oil kingdoms bought for a bargain. Democracy is just a word when the people are starving. The average citizen made to be blind to the reason. A desert full of genocide where the bodies are freezing, and the world doesn't believe that you're fighting for freedom, cause you off the Middle East and gave birth to a demon. It's open season with the CIA bugging my crib, trapped in the ghetto region like a Palestinian kid, where nobody gives a f whether you die or you live. I'm trying to give the truth, and I know the price is my life, but when I'm gone they'll sing a song about immortal technique, who beheaded the president and the princes and sheiks. You don't give a fuck about us. I can see through your facade like a fallen angel standing in the presence of God. Bitch niggas scared of the truth when it looks at you hard. It's like MK Ultra controlling your brain, suggestive thinking causing your perspective to change. They want to rearrange the whole point of view in the ghetto. The fourth branch of the government want us to settle. A bandana full of glittering generality, fighting for freedom and fighting terror. But what's reality? Martial law is coming soon to the hood to kill yo, while you hanging your flag out your project window. Yeah. The fourth branch of the government, aka the media, seems to now have a retirement plan for ex-military officials, as if their opinion was at all unbiased. A machine shouldn't speak for men, so shut the fuck up, you mindless drone. And you know it's serious when these same media outfits are spending millions of dollars on a PR campaign to try to convince you they're fair and balanced, when they're some of the most ignorant and racist people giving that type of mentality a safe haven. We act like we share in the spoils of war that they do. We die in wars. We don't get the contracts to make money off them afterwards. We don't get weapons contracts. We don't get cheap labor for our companies. We are cheap labor. Turn off the news and read.